Bulla, I'm Daniel Ray Costello, and Too High is a song I wrote on my latest album, Equilipso, and it's about young people like us who are abusing drugs and alcohol, and the bottom line is it's not good for you, and it's not going to take you anywhere, and you're going down the wrong path. And if you think you're cool by being on drugs with all your friends, then you're wrong.
Micronesian seminar brings you island topics.
I think ever since the world was created, or ever since we can remember, drugs has always been here.
Alcohol is relatively new to Micronesia. It was brought in by whalers in the mid-1800s and grew in popularity until the turn of the century. The colonial governments, German, Japanese, and American, prohibited alcohol until 1960, when drinking was permitted to Micronesians.
The fact is that alcohol and tobacco combined are the largest amount of money spent in imports in this nation.
Most of our calls, I would say, all of our calls involves alcohol.
It's okay if I ride him back?
The number of the youths that been involved with alcohol, the number is increasing every year.
Utani magayong problem ng Pohnpei. Utan mapulapul, utan yuki sa kawanway. Kayuki, marijuana, kayuki. Sangan may kasali sa angkarat.
Some of them, they always like to just go up at the campus and have great times. They don't want to be in class. Some of them, they were just want to be up at CHUUK school for just drinking alcohol.
The beer. You like the beer? Yeah, I like it. I like the beer, man.
The alcohol abuse on the island, it's rising. And alcohol cost, most of the crimes that being committed on the island involve alcohol,
We do have a law here in Pohnpei, consuming liquor under the age of 21. And, in a month, I would say we would have about 10 to 20 juveniles arrested involved in alcohol.
But there are small kids, but they already like to drink that kind of stuff. There is some they want to make fight with somebody, but they are real small.
I think it's cool, but it's really not cool, And basically it's just trying to get a message across to the younger generation. And just trying to let them know that it's not the right way to go.
Get to hear me now. Really got to hear me now. got to leave trouble when they come. You run a mile, you run a mile. Like you knock off the bottle every time you feel sad, every time you feel sad.
Took drugs when I was in the 2nd grade. Actually, before I entered school, started schooling, a relative of mine gave me some cigarettes to try, and then right after that, I got hooked onto that. And then when I got started in school, I really got into it. And in the 2nd grade, I started taking alcohol.
They do it out of frustration, I think, because they don't have a job. Comes payday, he goes to his relative and asks for a couple dollars, and he thinks that if he drinks, that will help his feeling. And
it's a rite of passage. It's a symbol of masculinity.
Most the money saving all your time. You see me feeling never to my money all the time. Really can't pay because they're not to my style. Even in a rock up for a long, long while. Baby, come alive and make you feel so good. Think of the lady like an old man should. You got to keep your habit in a pretty cool style. And you got to leave trouble. You got to keep your habit in a cool style. You got to leave trouble when you come and run a mile. Like you rock the bottle every time you feel sad and you think the world of people are bad.
Then when you escape through the use of alcohol, you put yourself into trouble. Because to escape from the reality is always there.
many of these people who, after heavy drinking, lose memories.
I got scared. I got really scared when I would see people getting hurt. My friends, some would die on the job where I was in the States.
And they feel that they're not responsible for what they did because they didn't know what they were doing. But that's because the alcohol has affected his body, especially the brain.
And some of my co-workers got hurt. One died, one lost his arm, and that really got me scared.
The more you drink and the longer you drink, you become dependent on alcohol.
And so I decided I want to quit, but every time I tried, I couldn't.
And when that happens, then you just have, and it becomes a mental problem because you must have alcohol in order to survive.
I don't think the youth around here have conception of how much damage is done to the human body each time a person gets drunk enough to pass out. Thousands of brain cells are destroyed, to say nothing of the damage it does to the rest of the body.
I remember going to the toilet bowl and throwing up until I passed out right on the toilet bowl. And in the morning I woke up, I didn't flush it. And when I looked down, I saw blood clots. The toilet bowl was filled with blood, not just blood, but blood clots. So I remember vomiting in there, and blood was all over the floor, and I looked in the mirror, and I was bloody all over. So I decided to go see the doctor. He examined me. He found out that my stomach lining was very, very thin as my nail, as he put it. And that if some parts of it, if I keep on drinking, it'll just break. And then I might die.
Have you seen the light Tell me, have you seen just like?
I really got scared. And I remember I got on my knees for the first time in my life.
Have you seen the light? 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 Tell me, have you seen just like?
Come again?
The money saving all your time. You see you feel able to make money all the time. Really can't get because it wasn't up to my style. Even in a hotel for a long while. Baby, come alive and make you feel so good. Think of the lady like an old man should. You got to kick your ass in the 52 style. You got to leave trouble. You got to kick your ass in the 52 style. You got to leave trouble when you come and run.
Also gives the family or the problem for the financial problem in the family. Some people they just drink and they don't really care or well support to the kids in the family.
Domestic calls involves alcohol. Most of the domestic calls.
And then when they are under the influence, they let loose all their feelings and frustrations, even to the extent that they use violence, physical violence, to each other. And this influence put a great influence on the children to follow.
Again, it's really not in our society to beat up each other and beat up our wives and stuff, but it's the influence of this drug.
Some people now they take the alcohol, so they have accident on the car, on the truck, even in the sea, on the motorboat.
Most of the car accidents that we had so far, most are involved with alcohol. And this is a problem that our office is trying to address.
They were sleeping around 5 o'clock in the morning, eh? And they heard the crash. And they all got up, looking, and there's a car was coming in. When they got up and they ran in a little bit further in, and the car just came in, pushed the bed.
Oh my God.
So the car just came over with the 2x2s and hit him in the head. Hit this kid in the head.
But nobody got seriously hurt.
No, the head was cracked on the front, his forehead got cut.
So to address the problem, our office has decided to designate certain number of our personnel to work on the street to enforce the traffic law on the island. I'm sorry to say this, but we have to be very strict on this. Yeah.
Oh, I think that if you read any state in FSM or Republic of Palau or marshals. And especially I can speak for Palau, the emergency room is filled, especially payday where when kids or young people have the money, they tend to drink until they exhaust their money, especially young people. And emergency room, I would say the cases coming to emergency room as an emergency case, over 90% are alcohol related, I would think. And
if we look at our population, most of the consumers of this stuff they're the youth, and they're the most populated group in our population, and a lot of them are already committing suicide.
If we have more than 2 patients come in,
Yeah.
and there is no room, we can use this.
You can choose destruction, you can choose happiness.
Yeah, right. Just last week, that's what I was told you in a few minutes. I just have a boy about 20-some years old. I received in here in emergency room. The family or the parents brought him in here, already died. Maybe after that you come, because we have one case up there now. Maybe, yeah, he's drunk. Tried to hang himself. Nobody knows why.
The most thing I really think of is why they did it.
From alcohol, you get confusion. But with the one, the hanging, the physical examination is fine.
I think they just want soft words, gentle words.
Blood pressure, 130/70. Pulse rate, 80 per minute regular. Respiration, 40 per minute and regular. Lungs is clear. Only the patient is drinking alcohol.
Baby, got to hear me now. Baby, got to hear me now. Baby, got to hear me now. Got to hear me now.
There's no curfew hour that been applied to the states. The young kids tend to be going around, after 9, and from that time, until they form a camp.
So there's 2 gangsters in CHUUK that they call it Blood and Douche. They fighting together.
One time I went to the other park. I see people, they are fighting, and then I walk out, run away, because I'm scared.
And this is something that we should try to avoid. And to avoid that, I'm sure that we should apply the curfew hour for our kids on the island.
They advance to apply those pictures in the movie. Yeah, those small kids, because they just always watching movie. And then, we have money, let's go and buy some drink.
Those videos are very influential our youth on the island. Because the kids, once they see the film, and they tend to apply what they observe in the film. People are smoking, drinking in the movie, tend to give the wrong attitude or thinking to the young kids that in order to consume and smoke, you have to be that, you're going to be in that shape or be that pretty or handsome.
Went to the place or a store, buy, and then they drink, went home. What happened to you? Oh, trouble, maybe fighting with this brother or what? But else, no?
Oh yes, everybody has that moral responsibility to do something, especially to their own families. And if alcoholism comes in as a way of breaking up the family, I think every member of the family has the responsibility, the moral responsibility to do something.
We're a small society. We see each other every day on the street. We should care for each other. And if we don't control this stuff, it's going to break down a lot of that helping system that exists in our culture.
Dapat ano o yang agipin government ananin tayong rerentin. Tapi jika kata sang kapal kaco, isang alamat mepulupul pukat sang men kaliwat pukat. Wai ima karayang kagay syariya kan sudakap mo mabon sa pacay Pohnpei.
What we do, we bring in the father or the mother, both of them here, and then we both talk about it and try to, come up with this solution again.
I think the parents of the youth of Pohnpei must play a major role in this problem. Our department or our office cannot work alone in addressing the problem.
And I believe that we need to encourage sports. We also have to do something about the lack of employment.
Play basketball and volleyball, those things, they really help them to distract on those things they are going to take, like alcoholic and marijuana.
I used to, I was involved with drugs and alcohol one time, a long time ago. And I thought it was everything, and thank God that I stopped.
As I started working in the government and working with youth groups and families, and then learning more about the problems that we have here in Pohnpei, and then later, as I got into this job, I learned more about how it is in the FSM. I'm kind of glad I'm not taking it.
We all have directions we want to follow, and if we stick to those directions and follow our paths, you can get there and you can do anything you want to do.
We are one.